Yo, what's up, guys? Closeout podcast. We back again. We're gonna talk about the top 10 players to come off the bench.
Okay, yo, what is good? It's Alan over here as well. And yeah, you heard the boy. We're talking about top 10 bench players in this season, right? So we're gonna take a lot of things in consideration, right? We're just not gonna look at the points. We already know, who won six man of the year, but we'll take that with a grain of salt because I feel like there's a lot of good players this year.
Yeah, for me, I just grade on their impact on the team. When the offense is stagnant, what can they bring off the bench? Can they change the pace of the game? Just stuff like that. That's what I'm grading on.
Okay, for sure. Yeah. Okay. Did you want to start? Do you want me to start?
All right, I'll start. My number 10 is TJ McConnell.
Okay.
Is he your number 10 by any chance?
He's not number 9. I'm moving on one number.
I'll get. So TJ McConnell, for me, he made my list. Out of everyone on my list, probably scores the least amount of points. But if you watch Pacers game, you see his impact, especially defensively. He had that one game where he had a triple double with 10 steals.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of players that can make that type of impact defensively. It kind of just overshadows like what he lacks offensively compared to like these other players.
Yeah. And I also like to bring up, because TJ McConnell is my number 9, but I saw his assist rating. He has the number 1 assist rating in all of six man, like all in this season. And in second place, the assist counter says that Allen has 196 and TJ McConnell has 434, which means he more than doubles that. So I feel like him lacking his points is kind of like what Chris Paul does. He doesn't really score as much, but he gets his teammate involved. Yeah, that's why I had TJ McConnell number 9. But for my number 10, I have Montrezl Harrell. For me, I feel like this season he really did step up just because, LeBron and AD got injured, right? And, he had to play with Kuzma and Schroeder. So I had to give him, some leeway for that. He did have the second most points scored, right? And he also was shooting at a 62% field goal. And he also averaged 6 rebounds per game. And then with the career highest rebound, I think, unless it's Bobby Porter. Yeah, highest rebound in the six-man runner. So I'd give him at number 10. I just feel like, he was six-man last year, right, with the Clippers.
Yeah.
I feel like he is well-deserved. He understands his role. I just feel like the Lakers franchise didn't really work out with them too well, but I feel like overall he's a really good, still a really solid role player and very solid off the bench player.
Yeah, I left Montrez right out of my top 10, but I feel like next year he could definitely jump back in it, or he might even be able to start. Yeah. Depends on what Washington wants to do.
Yeah.
But we know Montrezl Harrell is highly skilled. It's just he didn't really fit in the Lakers' offensive scheme. Obviously, him and AD kind of a logjam there, so it's kind of hard to play both of them. And then the main reason why he's off my top 10 is just defensively. He's kind of too small to play, like, to guard bigger centers. He gets dominated. Like, we've seen even against the Suns, like, we couldn't really play Montrezl Harrell too much because DeAndre Ayton was just dominating the paint.
I remember they played against Jokic. Jokic just bitched them.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that's so sad.
And then, like, you can't really put another center in the rotation because Montrezl Harrell's offensively, he doesn't work well with another center clogging up the paint.
Yeah.
On top of that, he's not really well equipped to guard quicker 4s or even 3s.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why I have him off my list. It's just, it doesn't really fit this modern era of the game.
And he also he doesn't shoot threes at all. Like this entire season, he didn't shoot a single 3. Maybe he shot like 1 3, missed it. But yeah, I feel like in this area we need a big man that's able to shoot threes. Even if you're not specialized in shooting threes, but I feel like you should be at least capable of. But that's why he's on my number 10. But let's move on. What's your number 9?
My number 9 is Terrence Ross.
Okay.
I feel like he didn't really get too much opportunity to showcase what he can do, mainly because the Orlando Magic was kind of tanking. But when he was playing, he was averaging about 15 a game. The main reason is his efficiency. That's why he is not higher than number 9. But I feel like a lot of the shots he did have to force up because he was basically the number 1 option once Vucevic got traded. But yeah, I feel like Terrence Ross is a high volume shooter, and I feel like he have a really big impact on the game when he's hot and streaky.
Okay. if you believe it or not, I actually don't have Terrence Ross. He was just out of my top 10. But for my number 8, I have Patty Mills. I
That's a
feel
good
like
pick.
yeah, I feel like Patty Mills well deserved. I think where is it? Where was his I think it's like what?
Yeah, I left Patty Mills right out of my list, but I feel like
Yeah,
he's very efficient. He's a very winning player. Like we've seen him be effective off the bench for winning teams like San Antonio
Yeah,
when they had Kawhi, Duncan, Parker, and Ginobili. We've seen him. He knows how to fit into roles when the top players are struggling. He kind of steps up and off the bench, we've seen him have 20, 30-point games
yep,
when like
exactly.
Tim Duncan or Kawhi's having a slow night.
Yeah,
So
I mean, he's a really, really solid scorer overall, and I feel like he's he understands like I said, for most of these role players on my list, I feel like they understand their role. They understand that hey, they might not be starting, but when they do, they're ready for it. But at the same time, when they come off the bench, there's not just like a fall off skill, you know. But yeah, that's my number 8. Who's your number 8?
how
Oh,
do you
yeah, what's
think
up?
Patty Mills is gonna fit into the Brooklyn Nets next year?
I feel like right now we have to see what kind of like what they're trying to run now. I mean, obviously it's gonna be KD, Harden, Kyrie starting, right?
Mhm.
Hopefully when they're all healthy, and then honestly, I think they're starting Claxton, maybe, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they'll
so
probably have him at the 5.
yeah, at the 5.
Or I don't know if they want to do Aldridge,
Yeah,
but I mean, it
Aldridge.
doesn't really concern Patty Mills
Yeah,
though.
but I feel like Patty Mills is that type of player that he's been playing with veterans. He plays with great scores, and he understands that. I feel like he might go into more of like a Joe Harris play style, where more the catch and shoot. But at the same time, he's able to still slash and so still get good jumpers out. But yeah, all right. Who's your number 8?
My number 8 is Miles Bridges. I feel
Ooh.
like he's one of the most underrated role players in the league. He does everything you would want from a small forward. I feel like you don't really need a lot of shot creation if your point guard is LaMelo Ball, and because LaMelo is going to create most of the
That's
shots for
true.
you,
That's
and you
true.
have Rozier as well. So I mean, for LaMelo Ball, you kind of just want someone who can shoot the ball when LaMelo passes it to him, and Miles Bridges can do that. He's also, we all know Miles Bridges is a like terrific finisher. So I believe he shot close to 40% from 3 this year, which is well above league average. And he gets to the rim really well. He cuts really well. He knows when to cut, and that's just why I have him. He produces efficiently, and he plays his role.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you because I have Patty Mills on my number 7. But that's kind of
Wait, you mean Miles Bridges?
I mean, yeah, I have Miles Bridges number 7. But that's my number 7 pick. You kind of say what I want to say, but go on. What's your number 7 now? Because it's
All right, number 7, I got rookie Tyrese Halliburton. I was debating whether or not to keep him on the list, mainly because towards the end of the season, he kind of became a starter. He didn't start for a majority of the first half of the season, but the Kings were doing really well with him starting, and Luke Walton finally realized that fucking dumbass coach. He finally noticed that. Started Tyrese Halliburton. Obviously you have to start Buddy Hield on that team. Buddy Hield's too good, not to start for the Kings, right? So they eventually ran Fox, Halliburton at 2, Hield and Harrison Barnes. With Rashawn Holmes at the 5. That was probably their best lineup. But yeah, I was debating whether or not to put Tyrese Halliburton, mainly because he became a starter late in the season. Tyrese Halliburton is just a very high IQ player. It's very surprising to see like how well he plays as a rookie. Doesn't have a lot of turnovers, makes the right plays. I've seen during clutch moments where he makes the right pass instead of just doing what a rookie would do and just shoot the ball.
Yeah. For me, I feel like Tyrese was really, really good overall, even contender for rookie of the year, but we
probably 3rd.
Yeah. But he did not make my list. Okay. So that was your number 6, right?
That was my number 7.
All right, number 7. For my number 6, I have Chris Boucher, right? Felt like this was his big season, right? He did show off a lot. Like he was able to do more than expected for his team, right? And then I think what is it? Oh yeah, he shot a 41% or 40, close to 42% from a 3-pointer as
a center.
Yeah,
that's
center
crazy.
basically. Yeah,
but I don't think he should be playing center.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like he'd be a little better as like a small forward, big forward, right? Off on the 4. Yeah, but yeah, Chris Boucher is my number 6, top 6. What about you?
So I left Chris Boucher right. Like I was just shuffling 7 through like 12.
Yeah.
And like last minute, I just took Chris Boucher out. I was talking to Alan about this. I was like, and I just took him right off.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything Alan said is true. I just hope, Toronto can figure out a way to give him more power forward minutes, even though, they have Siakam. So it's kind of difficult. But Chris Boucher kind of struggles at the center position, which like this is why I don't like his fit right now.
Yeah.
He's a little bit too small. It gets dominated by centers, but at the 4, he does a really good job of stretching the floor. And 42% as a power forward is what you need from a center nowadays, or a power forward big man. At number 6, I got Thaddeus Young.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Thaddeus Young was just so good for the Chicago Bulls. Like, I think Thaddeus Young was probably the second best player on the Bulls before Vucevic came. He was just a very high IQ player. He gets a lot of assists. Let's see.
Yeah, 196 assists.
He averages 4.5. 4.5 as a power forward, which is really good because he doesn't really handle the ball much. I believe he averages more than their point guard, Kobe White. So, he just does whatever the team needs. And he was the main playmaker. I would say he was the best playmaker on the Bulls last year. He didn't really start, but whenever he got minutes, it was really productive. And, the Bulls just play a lot better with him on the floor.
Yeah, I feel like he's a very, very good plug and play. Like, he can shoot, right? He has a good field goal percentage. And he also understands that, he's able to play make some here and there. He's able to see where the ball needs to be at times. But that usually did not make my list, surprisingly.
Yeah, we got different lists.
Yeah. I feel like it just depends on, what we value is more important for the team, right? But yeah, you want to go number 5?
My number 5 is Carmelo.
Oh, same here. Carmelo.
Cool.
Yeah, Carmelo. Simple.
So, Carmelo still got it. He's a really good scorer. What I like about him is that not only can he play the role of like stretching the floor and being a catch and shoot player like most of these players in the 6-man can do, but you can also give him the ball on the block and he can get his own shot. He's a better scorer.
Yeah, I feel like he's a very, very he's like the bucket getter. Like if Portland needed, I mean obviously in the Lakers now, but when Portland needed a bucket, they give it to Carmelo. He does a little fadeaway, hits a nice jumper, and it's a very, very he's very consistent with his shooting too. I think he averaged 44%. What is that? 42%.
But 42% from 3.
Yeah, from 3 and the free field goal, which is really, really good for just a 6-man coming off. Right,
and he shot 90%.
Yeah, from the free throw, which is like insane, right? But yeah, that's all I really have to say about Carmelo. Number 4, I got a Tim Hardaway Jr.
All right, cool. Tim Hardaway is not my number 4, but at number 4, I got Joe Ingles.
Ooh.
So you want to talk about Tim Hardaway first, and why you have him below Joe Ingles?
Yeah, I feel like Joe Ingles was definitely a main reason. Like a big part of it, he played well to secure the for the Jazz number 1 spot, right? Obviously, I'm not gonna ignore the other 6-man of the year on that team as well, but it was just, to me, he did a lot. Like, I remember he bitched Paul George. He bitched Paul George. That to me was insane, right? Like, Joe Ingles was just such a really, really good player, especially when they needed him. Like, he was able to hit good shots. He was also able to move the ball around really nicely. And that's kind of why I have Joe Ingles a little bit higher. But for Tim Hardaway, I feel like he did really, really well. He did play exceptionally, but I feel like there's still some room for improvement. To me, I feel like personally, like I would say, would you say he's the second best scorer on the Mavs over Porzingis?
I feel like in the playoffs he was, but during the regular season he was the number 3.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. Like, I feel like Porzingis didn't really have a good season, but good thing Hardaway was there to pull the weight from Porzingis dog, man, motherfucker. But yeah, that's kind of why I have Tim Hardaway as my number 4, and he's not that much higher, but yeah, number 4.
Joe Ingles and Tim Hardaway were both really close to me.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Ingles is one of my favorite role players too. Basically what Alan said, when the team needs him, he produces, and not just scoring, right? He's a really good defender, very disruptive defender, and he does whatever the team needs. So, I play fantasy. During fantasy, whenever Mike Conley was out, I knew Joe Ingles was going to pick up a lot of assists. Yep. He play makes when the team doesn't have it. and he'll score when the team is missing Donovan Mitchell, or
Yep.
he just does whatever the team needs. Like he'll get rebounds if the team is lacking rebounds. He just does a little bit of everything, which is what I love about Joe Ingles.
Matter facts.
And then number 3 for me, Tim Hardaway. He rose to number 3 because of his postseason, averaging. I think he averaged 20 points in that series, in the playoff series, and I believe he averaged 16 for the season. But he definitely earned a lot of money. Oh, he averaged 15 during the season, but he definitely earned a lot of money during that postseason run.
Yeah, like he showed himself. Like I remember seeing this. I was like, yo, this guy is going crazy, dropping 20, 30 points a night. I think I remember seeing that with Luka, just to help Luka out, man. Fucking because Porzingis can do shit. But my number 3 goes to D Rose. Top 3 finalist for the Sixth Man of the Year. I feel like he did extremely well coming off the bench. Even though he shows, I want to say he shows little sign of old age. I see the age picking up on him, but he's able to still create shots, create his own shot. And I feel like, he developed a jumper because, the game is evolving. He understands that. And that's kind of why I put on number 3. He did extremely well with the Knicks. And I felt like he has a lot of room to still improve a little bit more. But I feel like this is maybe next season will be his peak, right? And then it'll be that's kind of why I put him number 3. He was runner up final top 3, but yeah, I put him number 3 for that one reason. Go for it.
So my number 2 is Jordan Clarkson, Sixth Man of the Year.
All right, go for it.
I'm peaking Allen's this right now. I see Clarkson at number 1.
Yes, sir, dude.
So Jordan Clarkson, obviously,
pretty okay.
Sixth Man of the Year. So not much to say there. Just very good scorer off the bench.
Mm-hmm. Okay, for my number 2, I got Joe Ingles. Kind of already talked about him already, right?
Yeah.
So who's your number 1? Because you already know mine. My number is Jordan Clarkson.
My number 1 is Kyle Kuzma. No, my number 1 is Derrick Rose.
I kind of assumed it would be D Rose too.
So, I mean, you already talked about why Derrick Rose was so high on your list. Basically, everything you said.
Yeah.
I just feel like during the regular season, he was solid.
Mm-hmm.
Towards the end of the season, during the last stretch of the season, we kind of like Derrick Rose. That's the reason why Derrick Rose rose to number 3 in Sixth Man of the Year talks, is because his last stretch, he just really performed.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he wasn't the Pistons. He wasn't really playing that much. Like they were looking to trade him. They were looking to tank. So in the beginning of the season, he was trying to like find his rhythm.
Yeah.
But we saw when he was in rhythm and when he did get big minutes, like he averaged like 27 or 28 points in that series against the Hawks, even though they lost. Like I don't know where Randall was.
Where Randall went home or something.
I don't know where Randall was, but
scared of a lollipop, man.
But we were seeing, I can't really say MVP Rose because MVP Rose wasn't shooting threes.
Yeah, he was different.
Bro. Different play style, but similar production.
Yeah.
Similar production.
Very, very efficient player. I was gonna put D Rose number 2, but I felt like Joe Ingles did contribute a little bit more. Just because but I felt like Jordan Clarkson was for me unanimous number 1, just because average 18 points a game, 4 rebounds. Like the stats are there. But I feel like he's like that explosiveness. I feel like when he came off the bench, we were all looking at Jordan Clarkson as the one to score, right? He was the one that was like, hey, give me the ball. I'll put my team on the back. I remember he hit like 3 back-to-back threes to bring the Jazz back up to I think it was to even. But I feel like he really, really understands like, oh, the team needs a bucket, I'm gonna get a bucket. And we can kind of see how he performs, right? Like shooting 42% field goal, 34% three-pointer. However, I feel like he attempted the most three-pointer out of all the 6 men, if I'm right. Yeah, right. And shooting 34% or 35% is extremely well, along with 90% basically on the free throw. I feel like his contribution to the Jazz was extremely important, as having a good bench is obviously good for the team as well. I feel like Jordan Clarkson just kind of fills all the roles.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Dude, I like how like usually when I say something stupid, you be like, what? But I like how like I said Kyle Kuzma, you didn't even have a reaction.
I was like,
this guy's trolling.
This guy's fucking trolling, man. Kuzma, number like 32 on my bench. It's okay. We'll see what's the deal on Beal with him and
fucking Beal.
Hopefully,
Capital Boys.
Hopefully Beal gets out of Washington so he doesn't have to suffer the Kuzma syndrome, bro. LeBron already suffered from that, causes injury. I swear to God. Too much stress, Kuzma. I remember that interview. Hey, you want to thank Kuzma? Shut up, man. But that's gonna wrap it up, right? For our podcast. It's a little quick one. The season's about to start in a month, right? And we'll come out with more topics for you guys and follow up with news. So make sure you guys drop a comment, like, and subscribe. Right, hit the notification bell if you guys want to get the quick updates to our news. And I know Anson has plans of coming out with some fantasy content, for all of us as well. Right, and if you guys like fantasy, hop on in.
Make sure to subscribe, man.
Yeah, subscribe, bro. You're gonna have number one. You're gonna beat. You're gonna bitch your whole squad with our lineup, right? But yeah, anything else you want to add?
Nah, bro. See you guys next week.
Yeah, see you guys next week. Peace.